So the big question and big topic of discussion recently is both votes SNP or both votes yes. Both votes yes can be SNP 1 and either Alba or the Greens getting your second vote. On this presentation, I'm going to focus on SNP 1 and Alba 2. So at the Scottish election, you will get your voting paper that will look like this. So on this side is where your candidate will be listed, and on this side is your party, constituency, regional. So for example, on Sky, you would have Kate Forbes on this paper and SNP on this paper. And for Inverness, you'd have Drew Henry on this side, SNP on this side. Also, Alba are only standing on this side. So how it works. So your first vote, your constituency vote, is easy. The candidate with the most votes wins. For example, in Argyll and Bute, Michael Russell has the most votes, so he would win the seat. Easy. However, for the regional vote, it's a bit less straightforward. This is done by region, and it's where the D'Hondt system comes in. The D'Hondt system means all the votes in the region are totaled together and then divided by 1 plus the number of constituency seats won by the party in the region. For example, in Highlands, we see the SNP have won 6 constituency seats and Lib Dems have won 2. That would mean the SNP regional vote is divided by 7. There's 6 seats plus 1. And the Lib Dems would be voted by 3. They're 2 constituency seats plus 1. And here we can see this is from 2016. The Tories got 3 seats, Labour 2, the SNP 1, Scottish Greens 1, and we can see this is how many votes they got on the regional vote, the number 2 vote. So I'll move on to the first sheet, and this is just to give an example. So this is the number of votes received for each party in the regions. So as we said, each party is divided by 1, apart from the parties that won seats. So the Lib Dems won 2 seats, so that's 2 plus 1, 3. SNP 6 seats, so 6 plus 1, 7, and the rest 1. So then the first regional seat goes to the one with the most votes after all the votes are divided, which would be the Tories. But then they've won a seat, so it's 1 seat plus 1 is 2. Then you go on to the next one, which would be Labour. They win a seat, so you add it on, and so on and so on. Tories now go up to 3. Tories sneak that one. The SNP get a seat. That goes up to 8. Then the Greens are in. They get divided by 2. And here, Labour get the last seat. So just another example, say in Lothian. So here the SNP won 6 seats, Lib Dems 1, Labour 1, Tories 1 on the constituency vote. So this would be added in. So the Tories would be 2, Labour 2, Lib Dems 2, SNP 7, Greens 1, UKIP one. So Tories. So you can see I've put the calculations in here and it's dividing by the seats all the time. So, and then if you look at Glasgow, where SNP won all 9 seats, so every other party is 1. SNP 10, so on and so on. So that's 3 examples, just trying to give an idea of how it works. So yeah, if you look at 2011, this is where the SNP won the majority, and I'll just go down it slowly so you can see all your own region. This is a summary. So in 2011, the SNP won 53 seats on the constituency, and they won 16 seats on the regional, which gave them that majority. However, if we have a quick glance at 2016 results, the SNP won 59 seats in the constituency, which meant they only won 4 seats on the regional. And if you look at the votes, that was 953,587 votes for 4 seats, compared to nearly half of that for around 20 odd. I find this interesting as well. This is the vote change between 2011 and 2016 elections. And something interesting in it was in every seat, Labour dropped points and Tories gained massively. So we can say that Labour was on the fall, we know they were, but we could also say there was tactical voting in 2016 on the Unionist side. Which we know resulted in this. I'll just run down it region by region slowly. So yeah, it resulted in the SNP only getting 4 seats, but the Tories getting 24, Labour 21, sorry, and only an Indie majority of 9 seats. So we've heard that both votes SNP, not voting, both votes SNP lost us that. So I decided to do a wee experiment of moving all the Green votes from 2016 to SNP votes to see what that would have meant. And this is what I came up with. So I moved the 14,781 Green votes into the SNP in every region. So the Highlands and Islands, they got 2 seats. None in central Scotland, 1 in Glasgow, 1 in Lothian, none in Mid Scotland and Fife, none in North East Scotland, 3 in South Scotland, and none in West Scotland. So in 2016, the SNP got 4 seats and the Greens got 6 seats. This is the number of votes they got. But if all the Greens had gone both votes SNP, for example, it would have meant 7 seats for the SNP. So a gain of 3 seats for the SNP, but a loss of 3 seats for the Indie majority. And I also find this interesting. The total votes of SNP and Greens would have been 1,104,000, meaning 7 seats. Yet the rest of the votes all added together would have been 1,097,425, meaning 49 seats. So for me, that shows both votes SNP wouldn't have worked. But moving on to Alba and the 2021 elections, I've done a number of examples to see what seats could come out of what percentage of votes. So I have all through it put a 15% Green vote. I did this as I think there's a lot of, I'd say 15 to 20% of Green votes are borrowed from the independence movement. They vote Green to get independence. It's the same with the SNP. A number of votes vote SNP to get independence. Same with Tories. Labour voters could vote Tories for the Union, for example. And then I've built up the percentage of SNP votes. So I'll go down this slowly. This is 15% of the 2016 SNP vote and 15% of the 2016 Green vote going to Alba. So again, I'll go down every region. So the 15% would actually get Alba a seat in every region. And this is the one to focus on here. So 2016, this is the number of seats. 2021 with Alba standing and 15%, this is what it could be. So the Tories would lose 3 seats, Labour would stay the same, the SNP would lose 2 seats, and the Greens would lose 3 seats, but Alba would gain 8 seats. So although the Greens and the SNP lose seats, we lose 5 Indie MSPs, and we lose 3 Unionist MSPs, but we gain 8 independence MSPs with Alba, which would take the Indie majority up to 15. At 2016, it was 9. Then if we go to 25%, again, I'll go down the regions slowly so you can have a look at them all. Nothing much changes in the Highlands. So with 25%, we lose 4 Tories and 2 Labour. We do lose 3 SNP and 3 Greens. However, we gain 12 Alba MSPs, which again brings the Indie majority up to 21. And then if we go to 30%, sorry, I should have mentioned 30 and 35%, it was the same results, same with 15 and 20 and 55 and 60. Go down the regions. So again, we can see we're losing Unionist MSPs, still losing 3 SNP and 3 Green MSPs, but 16 MSPs with 30% of the SNP vote, which would get us to an Indie majority of 29 MSPs. And if we look at 40%, Alba get 2 MSPs in the Highlands, and the Greens still have their MSP there. So for the Highlands, we go from having 2 Indie MSPs to 3 MSPs. South Scotland also gets 3 Alba MSPs. And the Alba MSPs rises to 18, bringing the Indie majority to 31. At 45%, Alba would get 19 MSPs, bringing the Indie majority to 33. And then if we can get 50%, it's 21 MSPs for Alba, and that Indie majority goes to 35. And then if we can really get 55 to 60%, sorry, 50 to 60%, we get 24 Alba MSPs, but the Tories dropped to 16 on the regional and 7 on the constituencies, which would mean 23. So this would get us an independent supporting government with an independent supporting opposition and an independence majority of 41. So the next calculations I did was based on the SNP winning an extra 6 seats on the constituency in May, which some polls have shown, and that would give them the majority on the constituency vote alone. So the ones with orange at the side are the only ones that the regional list MSPs would change. Sorry, the ones with the orange at the side are where the constituency MSPs would change, meaning it'd be the only ones the regional change as well. So if we look here, so this is an SNP majority of 65 seats with 15% of their support giving the second vote to Alba, and this would get us the Indian majority of 25. Then if we look at 25%, we get an Indian majority of 31. And if we go to 40%, sorry, we get an Indian majority of 39. And then at 50%, it's an Indian majority of 45. Which I don't know about you, but that would be a very sweet majority to win for me. So if you look at the summary, in 2016, this was the results. We had a majority of 9. 15%, we raise that by 6. 5%, we raise it to 21. We raise it to 29. We raise the independence majority every time. So yeah, that's my presentation and last few days' work. I'm going to carry on and put a bit more numbers in, play about with it a bit, but I just can't see how this wouldn't work. If we can get enough people voting Alba on the regional vote, we don't like unionists in every workings out I've done. We increase the independents supporting majority in Holyrood. And also important to notice, in every workings out I've done, even up to 55%, the Greens keep MSPs in. It might only be 2 down 4, but we gain 24. So we have 3 parties in Holyrood supporting independence. It'd be a lot harder for Boris to say no. Thank you.